Well, I'll tell you, I grew up, I spent a lot of time, went to prison a couple of times for attempted murder, and lived a long, hard life, and I was kind of pissed off, trying to get on with my stuff. And I think that whatever powers that be kind of put me all of a sudden in the presence of these people who were a little angrier than I was. So it toned me down again. But it all started one day. Some young friends of mine with all those nose piercing earrings and dreadlocks and all, you've seen them. And some of you even act like them. But this was like 15 years ago, so I don't even know why you're trying to emulate that shit. But you know, they were doing it then. And they come and say, Burkhart, this clown from down in Louisiana is coming up here, and he's going to be in a rally, and we're going to go protesting. We're anti-racist. I said, oh Jesus, not another one. I said, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, I want you to come with us, photograph the whole thing. So I get out there, they throw them all out. They say, you kids can't come in here and protest. And I said, they ain't going to throw me out. So I go on in, and they say, yo, brother, listen here, you want to see something? Come down to Cermak and Pulaski tonight to this dinner. Well, David Duke didn't show up, the guy that really wanted to protest. So I get over to Cermak and Pulaski with my Jewish girlfriend. And Klansmen, robes, we had dinner. And they wanted me to see a bigger thing, so that I get down to the cross lighting the next night in the middle of Indiana. This dude, he was on his farm, he just got fired from a local prison because he was distributing Klan literature in the prison out in the old state capitol there in Vandalia. And they laid him off. But then there was this big stink because a black guard was handing out, literature for the black race and the black racist situation. So there was this, why are they kicking me out and they're not kicking him out? So it really got a lot of coverage. 1,000 people showed up. And hardly any of them had anything to do with the Klan. It was a spectacle. And I said earlier how they light this 40-foot cross. It's made out of metal. They're not carpenters like this Jesus they pretend to celebrate with. So they just had one welded together and then burlap it every time. So they don't have to rebuild one. So, maybe that's clever, maybe it's not. They're out there, the dude's down there with this big lighter. We're all standing there in a silent circle. And I already broke the circle, which was a sacrilegious thing to do. And they're all looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? All of a sudden from the sky, as quiet as everything is, you could, in a voice like God, started talking and said, the Klan, I've watched your dealings, and you were this despicable piece of earth. And all these Klansmen are dropping their little torches, and they're all like, my God. And it was like coming from cascading through this farm, and all of a sudden somebody said, the fucking PA system. And sure enough, these young hippie dudes really got in the PA system said, you will burn in hell. And even I was sitting there saying, Jesus, God showed up at a Klan rally? I said, after all these years? And they chased those suckers out, and they said, don't do anything to them, there's too many cameras around here. And so they're kicking the car and drove. That was kind of fun. So then, as time went on, they invited me more and more things. Private funeral, births of their children, right-wing Christians, and Burkhart, we know you hang out with all them niggers and queers and Jews. And I said, yes, Rodney? They said, just don't bring any of them down here to our trailer. And I said, Rodney, they ain't coming down here. Rodney said, okay. And on the other hand, there's these Nazi extremists, the other half of the Klan. Now the right-wing Christians good people, sitting there in their little trailers. We don't want any of that shit in our life. I say, but at the same time, the daughters are watching Montel on the TV, you know, and Dad said, I told you to turn that nigga off. If I ever see that, throwing that TV out the window. Yes, Dad. And then 3 minutes later, back on. And I'm saying, in fact, in that family, in that trailer, this boy wore his Klan hat to school. He was like 12 or 13. And he had to take it off. But then the boy with the X hat on, the black boy with the X hat on, he could keep his on. This guy went all the way to New York with the Civil Liberties Union. They had to defend him, and it's a circus. But it's not a circus with the Nazis. And from day one, they're saying, man, what one man? Yeah, bro. You know they talk about horse shit. Well, bro, you know. I said, what is it, man? When you going to join the Klan, bro? And I said, you know, I joined the fucking Girl Scouts before I joined the clowns.
Oh, yeah.
And they only say, what did I hear you say? Because they heard me say it. Another day, I'll be talking to them, and I'll say, dude, you know that gold tooth you got in your mouth? You look just like one of them Puerto Ricans from up in Chicago I had. It took them about 2 years of this kind of abuse. Coming from me, because a lot of people say, were you undercover? I said, fuck no, man. I'm just where I'm at, wherever I'm at. And I'm a transparency to the truth. People know who I am anywhere I'm at. It took them about 2 years until they finally locked me in a motel room down in, well, actually it was in Illinois, it was in Rockford. They set up this big meeting. When I get there, there's 12 dudes in there, they slam the door shut, they got their AK-47s, all this crap, and then 5 young dudes, maybe 18, one from the Church of the Creator, and the oldest one's 27, they started working me over. And blood's flying on the walls after a while. It's all I could do is get back up. Couldn't even fight me. So after about an hour and a half of that, I knew I was dead. And they're like, this bastard, man. I always knew he was an FBI agent. And somebody said, well, man, if he was an FBI agent, they would have broken in here by now. And the other one in my head or something. And then the other one say, nah, I think he's a nigger lover. You know, and then the other one say, nah, child molester. Nah, I seen the pictures he makes, he's square. And all this stuff, they went on and on and on. Finally, the light at the end of the tunnel, here comes the Imperial chaplain into the room. What's going on here? We're getting rid of this clown, man. I'm tired of him, been tired of him for years. And they said, wait a minute, you can't do that. You rented the motel room. And there's blood all over the wall. You rented it in your own name. They said, well, we're going to take him down the road, bury him. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I said, wait a second. This sounded like I might be coming out of there. And they're having this conversation back and forth. They still beat me. And the Imperial chaplain, and they're saying to him, you know, this is Illinois, and we have jurisdiction here, and we'll do what we want with this son of a bitch. And the Imperial wizard said, yeah, but I'm the Imperial chaplain, so I hold rank over you people. This went on, and finally I got drug out of there. And I found out something I always find out about things, but the guy that drugged me out was an undercover cop. And that whole, I know that racism is everybody's favorite topic because, yeah, hate them motherfuckers, hate them motherfuckers. Orwell said it was coming. Everybody hates everybody else. But I watched the whole situation, a bunch of young drunken fools, never more than a half a dozen or a dozen, orchestrated by very wise, intelligent cops. I